Feel like a science guy.
Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah, and in today's video I went ahead and I did half of my body with Coco and Eve and the other half of my body with Loving Tan. Both are in the shade dark. So I had just put up on my channel a review of the Coco and Eve dark. I will go ahead and link that up in the eye if you want to see it. I kind of went way more in depth on this product in that review. I talked about the smell and everything else, the claims that the website has for it, and all of that good stuff. So this video is really just me kind of putting one on one side and one on the other and kind of seeing what happens. Also, in my last video with this, I only left it on for 2 hours, and this time I left it on for 8 hours. So I left both of these on. Actually, it was probably more like 10 hours. I put it on at like 9 o'clock at night and I washed it off at 7 in the morning. So that is what this video is. So in my original review of this tan, I thought it pulled really orange on me, and I felt so orange. But in the comments of that video, and I even asked my mom, and she was like, didn't think you looked orange, and I had a couple comments saying that they thought that it looked very natural. So I'm going to test it along something that I don't think makes me look orange. This 2 Hour Express from Loving Tan in the shade dark, I didn't feel like I looked orange when I used it. So I'm going to kind of like use these together and see, maybe I was just like, I don't know, being crazy town when I thought this looked super orange. So I'm going to kind of do one on one side, this on the other, and compare what it's going to look like. And if it looks crazy and they're completely two different shades, then we're in quarantine and it'll be gone within a week. We're going to test it out. We're doing...
Feel like a science guy.
We're going to do a little science experiment on me today. Also, I apologize right now that the lighting is a little crazy. It is like 9 o'clock at night. I normally film in this room with natural lighting and a little ring light, and right now I'm working with just a little baby ring light, and I am aware that this is like not the best color thing going on right now, but it is the best setting that I could find that is the most true to color. So I am going to use the Kabuki and Mitt from Coco and Eve. I really love the both of these. I think they are amazing. This mitt is thick. She is so thick, and I just think it's a really high quality mitt. The other mitts that I use have like, they're just not as thick as this, and they're already starting, they like kind of stain your finger through the mitt. I don't know how I'm going to do this, like split down my neck and over. So I'm going to go ahead and do the Coco and Eve on this side here. Oh, and I will use this side of the mitt for Coco and Eve and this side of the mitt for the Loving Tan. Now I'm going to go in with the Kabuki on my hands and my feet. This is the Coco and Eve, and this is my natural skin. Split down the neck here. I'm going to put the Loving Tan on this side. I'm going to go in with my dry side of the mitt. Let's go ahead and, oh my gosh, this color guard looks darker than the Coco and Eve. Also, it looks a lot more red. I haven't used this tan in a really long time, probably since like last summer. So it'll be nice, a little refresher for me. The real test will mainly probably be on the arms and legs, on like which side performed better. I really don't want there to be like a stark line down the center of my chest, so I'm gonna blend it out. But so this is the Coco and Eve side, and this is the Loving Tan side. So you can tell this is the Coco and Eve side because it smells amazing, and this just smells like absolutely nothing. It doesn't smell bad. It doesn't smell like self-tanner. It just smells like nothing. So this is what we have right here. Let me kind of show you guys. This is the Coco and Eve side. This is the Loving Tan side. Alright, it is the next morning and I am looking so tan. Look at my hands. Oh my gosh. So this is the Coco and Eve side. And this is the Living Tan side. And now I would say the colors are looking like pretty similar. Last night I felt like there was a big difference between how the two were looking. This one was definitely looking more green, and this one was definitely looking more red. And I would say now they're looking pretty similar. I'm so tan. This is definitely like a lot darker than it normally gets when I leave it on for 2 hours. Oh. Okay, shower time. Let's see if any of this is color guard. This is definitely the most satisfying part of self tanner, and when it all comes off in the shower. So this is the Coco and Eve leg, and this is the Living Tan leg. I feel like they look pretty much different if you wouldn't know any better, but I can tell that this one is just like a slight shade darker. So this morning I am realizing that I look almost exactly the same on each hand. So what do you guys think? I'll let you guys be the judge. This is Coco and Eve, and this is Loving Tan. I would say I can't see a difference at all. And yeah, I think that they ended up kind of being the same exact color. So I think what made all the difference in my last video to compared to this video for Coco and Eve is I left it on overnight. I think when I only left this on for the 2 hours, it didn't develop into the perfect color for me. So I am 100% loving the Coco and Eve. I will go ahead and put this video in the description of that video so that way it can kind of clarify things. This definitely, if you leave it on for longer, it turns into a better color. So I would recommend leaving it on at least the 8 hours. This morning, I'm just smelling, I'd say both sides smell about the same. It kind of has that lingering like self-tan smell. I should hold this on this side and this on this side so I don't confuse you guys. But yeah, this is the Coco and Eve side. This is the Loving Tan side. What do you guys think? I think they look almost exactly the same. So one little weird thing was when last night when these were setting on my skin, they looked completely different on my legs. The Coco and Eve definitely had like green undertones, and this definitely had like red undertones when the color guard at least. But as you can see this morning, I'm looking pretty much exactly the same on either side. I did want to mention that last night when these were drying down, they pretty much dried down at the same exact time, and I would say that my skin does not feel more hydrated on one side than the other. So honestly, I think these products are pretty comparable. If you were between the two, I personally would probably recommend the Coco and Eve. Also because they're very similar in price, and the Coco and Eve you get a lot more. Check out the size difference. You get 120 milliliters in the Loving Tan and 200 milliliters in the Sunny Honey. Okay, so I just looked it up and they're both exactly $39, which means I definitely would go ahead and recommend the Coco and Eve now. I have a little bit hard time saying that because I've been pretty loyal to the Loving Tan. But I mean, the facts are there. I have to give it to Coco and Eve. I mean, if you guys have Loving Tan on your hand already, definitely I wouldn't like rush out and buy this. But once you finish this bottle, definitely maybe pick this one up next, because as you can see, they're pretty similar. But this one has a little bit more benefits to it. You get more, smells better, it has more claims of like skin benefits, and it definitely is formulated without any nasties. This one is paraben free, but it doesn't claim to be like phthalate free or anything like that. I am so glad I did this experiment and tried leaving this on overnight, because my opinion is completely changed. Like, I think that it came out like a beautiful color. It came out the color of my Loving Tan, which I already know and love. So, I mean, if I was using this and swearing by this, then there's no reason that I shouldn't use this and swear by this. So, wow, I'm a little shook. I didn't think like this is like made the comeback. I think I have a new holy grail on my hands. Oh my gosh. Okay. I feel so bad that I knocked you until I tried you a little bit more. I'm sorry. Don't judge me. Also, last night, while I was sitting, letting this sit on my skin and scrolling on my phone before bed, I impulse purchased the Dripping Gold self tan so that I could test it out and try it out for you guys. And so definitely subscribe if you want to stay tuned for that video. It says that it will arrive on May 13th, so probably like around May 20th I'll have a little video for you guys. I don't know, I'm really glad that I did this experiment. I really didn't expect this to be the outcome. I'm excited. I am happy that I did this. So for everybody that commented on my last video, I definitely thank you for encouraging me to try it on overnight, because it led me to actually comparing it to something like my holy grail tanner. Right, you guys, well, there you have it. Those are my final thoughts with my little experiment here that I did with the Coco and Eve and the Living Tan, both in the shade dark. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more from me in the future, please go ahead and subscribe. I'd absolutely love to have you as a part of my YouTube family, and I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye!